Richard Gadd bravely relived his traumatic experiences in the hit Netflix series Baby Reindeer. As the vulnerable victim of the manipulative Darien, he earned our sympathy. But now, with allegations of Gadd pursuing a relationship with an actress who auditioned for his very show, a chilling question hangs in the air. Is Gadd's newfound power transforming him into the very type of abuser he once fought against? Let's dive into this unsettling twist of the Baby Reindeer universe. What's up, nieces and nephews? Look, I didn't even think, dream, or imagine that I would be back here so soon talking about some Baby Reindeer-ish. However, it's starting to look like there might be trouble in Baby Reindeer Paradise. Some things have gone on, or some things have been brought to the public's attention, and I thought I should bring it to your attention because it goes into our deeper analysis, or at least the discussion that I started with my review of Baby Reindeer. It goes into the deeper analysis of being this type of victim, probably or potentially not getting all of the help that you need, and beginning to revisit this part of your trauma onto other people. Now, it is very important to note that I am not a mental health professional. I'm just regular old TT Tosh. However, I do have insights and opinions based upon what we see, and we're not trying to diagnose him, but we're trying to understand how something like this can be possible. But let's get into what I'm talking about. Just 5 days after Baby Reindeer premiered on Netflix to critical acclaim, BT dubs, an actress named Reese Lyons posted on Twitter or X, whatever you calling it nowadays, and she said, in light of recent conversations surrounding a newly released Netflix show, I've decided to come forward and share my experience with this individual throughout the casting process. And then they went on to provide a full thread for further context of what her experience was, presumably with Richard Gadd. While Baby Reindeer racked up views on Netflix, this thread on X began to gain traction. And then we're starting to see major news outlets reporting on this situation between Reese Lyons and Richard Gadd. Okay, so my outlet of choice is Deadline. So we're going to go through the Deadline article, and then you tell me if this situation is sounding awfully familiar. In fact, it sounds pretty close to what happened with Darian and Richard, minus any mention of a sexual assault. In fact, Reese Lyons says, "Hey, I don't think I suffer from any type of abuse. However, I do think this situation may be inappropriate." So listen to the situation, form your own opinions, but I'm still going to tell you what I think on the other side. Baby Reindeer star Richard Gadd questioned by producers over dating actress who auditioned for hit Netflix series. Richard Gadd, the creator and star of hit Netflix series Baby Reindeer, has faced questions about his professional conduct after dating a transgender actress who auditioned for his show. The actor was investigated and ultimately cleared of any wrongdoing by Baby Reindeer producer Clerkenwell Films after a romantic liaison in 2021 with Reese Lyons, who was interested in playing the role of Gadd's ex-girlfriend Terry in the stalker drama. Lyons went public with her experience on Twitter, now X, soon after Baby Reindeer premiered. She did not name Gadd or directly reference Baby Reindeer, but Deadline has verified his identity. Gadd declined to comment, while Lyons did not wish to comment beyond her X thread. Lyons made clear that she does not believe she was a victim of abuse, but says she was hurt by Gadd, conflating a work opportunity with a dating dynamic. Clerkenwell Films concluded that Gadd had acted appropriately, though the company came. Now, it seems like Richard Gadd would keep himself out of these types of situations because that's exactly how he found himself entangled with the Darian character on Baby Reindeer. Donnie Dunn was entangled with Darian after Darian saw him perform and told him how he'd like to help his career. We're finding ourselves seeing Donnie behave in a, well, not Donnie, because his real name is Richard, duh. We're seeing Richard behave in a similar way as the character Darian did on Baby Reindeer. You're going to a person's performance, you're meeting up with them and buying them a drink, and then you casually mention that you have this Netflix show that's coming out and we're looking for a transgender actress. And so it is no coincidence that I'm here to see your one woman show because I'm looking for a trans actress and you are a trans actress. Appropriately. Though the company came to this view without interviewing Lyons, Lyons' experience comes as Baby Reindeer has exploded on Netflix, with the series amassing 22 million views, comfortably making it the streamer's most watched English language TV show. It depicts Gadd's raw, quote unquote, true story of his encounter with a stalker and also deals with themes of abuse of power in the TV industry. Gadd and Lyons met in October 2021 in the bar of London's Bush Theatre after she had performed the one-woman show Overflow. By Lyons telling on X, Gadd and his friend approached her after the show and he offered to buy her a drink. She alleged that the potential for a Baby Reindeer audition was discussed when they split off from Gadd's friend. He began to tell me about his upcoming Netflix show that he had written. The role in question was that of his ex-girlfriend, a trans woman, she wrote on X. I told him I was interested in auditioning and asked him to get in touch with my agent. Sources close to Gadd did not deny he discussed an audition with Lyons that night. Gadd's friend, who is not being identified, said Baby Reindeer casting was not discussed in his presence, but acknowledged he was not privy to Gadd and Lyons' conversation when he stepped away to go to the bar. What is not— See what I mean? It wouldn't seem so sus if Richard Gadd had made this conversation about Baby Reindeer in front of his friend. But instead, you wait till your friend walks away and then you hone in on this trans actress, telling her, hey, I think you'd be a great fit for this show that I'm doing on Netflix of all things. And now Reese is in the position of Donnie in Baby Reindeer. She is just completing a show. She's yearning for success. Here, this person who has had some success as a comedian is coming and telling me how great I am as an actress and that you are trying to fill a slot on a Netflix show that could potentially become a hit. And here's the cycle of abuse starting all over again. It seems like of all the things that Richard went through with both Martha and Darian, the one thing that he picked out is how to be just as manipulative as they were. And that's scary. What is not disputed is that in the days after their initial encounter, Gadd and Lyons continued talking and he asked her out on a date. The pair went on 4 dates between October and November of 2021 before Gadd ended the relationship in December. Sources close to Gadd did not deny that conversations about a Baby Reindeer audition took place during the period in which they dated. Lyons alleged on X that Gadd pursued her during their courtship, despite her texting him to, quote, end things prematurely, unquote, amid concerns about conflating dates with the audition process. Lyons said Gadd understood her wishes, but she claimed that 2 weeks later he called to say he, quote, wanted to try dating again, unquote. In her X thread, Martha had no respect for boundaries. Darian had no respect for boundaries. And now Richard has no respect for boundaries. It sounds like, according to Reese, and this is all just according to Reese, so I'm not saying whether it's true or not. I'm giving my commentary based on this being the truth, but we know that there's a possibility or potentiality that anybody could tell a lie. I'm not saying that Reese is lying. I'm not saying she's telling the truth, but we are going to accept her story as potentially true just to dissect how this can be similar to Baby Reindeer. Donnie, or now Richard, is not accepting a boundary in this situation. The boundary has been set. Hey, I think we should call it off because I am auditioning for your production. So if we're going to be romantically involved, maybe we should do it after all of this selection process is over. And Donnie pretends like he is accepting her boundaries, and then just a couple of weeks later, he is reasserting himself. That is not a crime. But when you are in a position of power, you kind of have to think of all of the different ways that your conduct can be misconstrued in this imbalance of power.
Again, unquote. In her X thread, she admitted feeling conflicted about the relationship and was concerned that breaking it off could damage her chances of auditioning. Lyons submitted her self tape audition for Terry to Nina Gold Casting in March 2022, 6 months after first meeting Gadd and 3 months after he ended the relationship. Deadline understands that Gadd did not have final approval on Baby Reindeer casting, but did give feedback to Clerkenwell Films on audition tapes.
In June, and see, that's one of the things that makes this improper. Even though you don't have final say, you do have some say. And it can look like you are either sabotaging or you are pushing this person through based on your relationship. We would probably never know this if Reese hadn't spoke up. But the bottom line is that doesn't look good. If you have a girlfriend and you are going to select that individual to be your on-screen girlfriend in a TV show or a movie, then it 9 times out of 10, you either need to come straight up and say, hey, look, I already have an actress selected for this part, or you hold the open castings and you keep yourself as unbiased as possible. And I don't think Richard did that in this situation. And I honestly believe that he is relishing in the fact that now he is in the position of power. Again, this is just what I think. I think this is not me knowing for sure. Again, I'm basing all of this on or Reese's statement being taken as fact.
In June 2022, Baby Reindeer producer Matthew Mallow asked Nina Gold Casting to inform Lyons she had not been successful with her audition. Nava Mal, who starred in Mac's series Generation, eventually landed the role. On the day of her rejection, sources close to Gadd said Lyons asked him for feedback on her audition. Gadd told her it was exceptional, but Netflix wanted a more established actress, according to Lyons' post on X. Lyons said she asked about their relationship and claimed that Gadd responded, quote, "It's not going to work. You're too confrontational for me," unquote. Deadline
Richard says she was too confrontational and their relationship ends. They part ways. And now Reese Lyons is writing this crazy Twitter thread. This story coming out has undermined a lot of the work that Richard Gadd did on producing a stellar Netflix show. But then it's a situation of, is now life imitating art? Are you doing the same shit that you thought was wrong when it was done to you? It's very possible that hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, and that Reese is just a woman scorned. If Richard had left that situation alone, we could probably say, oh yeah, Reese is probably just a woman scorned. But you open yourself up to this type of scrutiny when you behave inappropriately on a movie set, in a workplace, period. When you behave inappropriately at work, this is the type of stuff that we end up having these type of conversations about. And we have to wonder out loud, what the hell did Richard Gadd learn from the situation that he himself said that he was in?
Deadline understands that Clerkenwell Films investigated Lyons' comments after she made the company aware of her April 16th posts on X. Gadd had not previously disclosed a romantic liaison to Clerkenwell. Lyons was not interviewed on the phone or in person as part of the investigation, with correspondence done in writing. A Clerkenwell source said her account and other evidence was enough to conclude that Gadd had behaved professionally and casting decisions were not compromised. The company remains in contact.
Of course, I'd say that too if I thought I had a hit Netflix series and this one person coming forward could F all that up for me. I'd say he acted professionally too.
The company remains in contact with Lyons' agent. Clerkenwell, which also made the end of the effing world for Netflix, declined to comment. Deadline asked Netflix if Gadd had overstepped any conflict of interest clause in his Baby Reindeer contract. but the streamer declined to comment.
Because, hey, at the end of the day, we got to protect that bottom line. We are here in the best interest of Netflix. We do not care about Richard Gadd, and they don't care about Reese Lyons. They care about the money. And this show is getting an awful lot of eyes on the platform, and it's a money-making machine. So,
Baby Reindeer launched with little fanfare on Netflix on April 11th and has become a phenomenon for the streamer, sparking wild internet speculation about the real identities of the characters. Gadd, who also serves as an executive producer on Baby Reindeer, has pleaded with fans not to play the guessing game.
and look, that's the latest about the situation between Richard Gadd and Reese Lyons. I have included the links to the Deadline article and to Reese Lyons' tweet in the description of this video if you are interested in going into this little rabbit hole a little bit further yourself. But for me, if this is true, it is extremely disappointing to know that Richard Gadd is perpetuating the same type of misery that was visited upon him onto other people. If this is not true, this is another example of people jumping on a situation or jumping on something because it's hot and trying to get their name trending. Because that could very well be the case. This could be a situation where, hey, it's a hot topic, so let me throw my hat in the arena so that people can get a look at my work as well. I feel conflicted about how I feel about Richard Gadd moving forward. If any other stories come out that are similar to this, I'm going to have to wonder if Richard Gadd just bided his time until he had the kind of power that Darian had over Donnie in Baby Reindeer. So if you have any ideas, comments, concerns about this situation, I'd love to hear about it. Put those in the comments. Make sure that you are hitting the like button. You are subscribed to my channel because I do videos and live streams on a regular. And turn your notifications on so you'll know when I do those things. With all that being said, I've got nothing else. I am very confused about this one, and I'd love to hear what you guys think. See you later. Peace.